Hi, it's Megan. January was not such a low buy after all. So I will be cutting back. My limited only January resolution was a bust, but I did get some great things. I was really excited by a lot of the stuff that came out in January. I was actually shockingly excited by how many collections I got really excited about, sadly. So this is the Urban Decay Vice Limited Reloaded, and it says XX on it. So it comes in the Urban Decay box, and it's already open, so I can show you. This is $56 for 0.60 ounces, and Ulta had it on their site. I'm not happy with this angle. On their site for pre-order for 1 day only for Ulta Platinum members. So this is something that hasn't come out yet, but is going to come out unless you were lucky enough to get it on Ulta that 1 day. So according to the Ulta description, this ultra limited edition collection features 20 addictive shades of eyeshadow that span Urban Decay's entire 20-year history. From vintage shades that go way back like Gash, Acid Rain, and UVB to must-haves from Urban Decay's current collection, it's all here. There are even a few new shades and several cult favorites from past palettes. And so they say experiment with color, go with a little smoke, play it neutral. 5 new shades, 5 vintage shades, 5 exclusives from past palettes, and 7 bestsellers from the collection of singles. So what I'm going to focus on is not the whole guessing game and identifying where everything comes from, just because I don't like videos that go on for 30 minutes. And so what I'm going to do is actually show you the colors and give you my overall viewpoint. So I decided to go with I've been going really, I don't know, conservative lately with a lot of the looks I've been doing. And I thought, okay, let's just go for something a little bit different for a change, especially since I'm shooting it later in the day. I usually try to shoot the videos earlier, but we're going for kind of a more sultry evening look anyway. And so I have on Gash, and then I have Oil Slick, which is the black that's darkening it. I have a little bit of Twice Baked, just to kind of add a little depth under here. Then I have Midnight Cowboy in the inner part of my eye. And then I have, right up here, I have Anonymous. So overall, what do I think of this? I have gradually been moving my makeup collection kind of up price point and up quality as I learn what I like and what I don't like, and also as I get overly saturated with too much makeup. But I have to tell you, Urban Decay still gets me really excited. It's not Tom Ford, but I think they've just been doing some amazing releases, and I really like this palette a lot. The reason I like it is, okay, some people will just be thrilled, and other people are gonna say, you know, this palette isn't for me. What I like about this is they really did kind of take the history of Urban Decay and put it into one Vice palette. And so you get some shades that are gonna be a little glittery chunky for some people, although I think they really cut back on those in this collection. You're gonna get kind of quirky, kinky, different, duochrome, interesting, glitter, you know, that kind of stuff. This is not your everyday palette, although you could get some great everyday looks out of it if you're going for a really conservative thing. But if you're going for something that's really fun and beautiful and interesting and different, and I was trying to again think like, how do you describe the Urban Decay shadows? I think Urban Decay as a brand is always able to add just that little twist that makes things more interesting and different and fun, and they did that with this palette. And they have some really good basic neutrals too. So first of all, these are the shades, and you can see there are a couple greens, some purples. Urban Decay does color really well, but then there are also some really pretty neutrals. And what I like about the layout is you've got 4 kind of base shades, and they look very similar in the palette, but when you actually swatch them, you see that there are different undertones and different shifts to those colors. There's a big mirror. I didn't take my little plastic thing off so it doesn't glare into the camera. And then you have I haven't even used it, but you know, you either love these Urban Decay double-ended brushes or you don't. I think that they are better than a lot of the brushes that you get in palettes, and I like these. I really like this side actually for blending. So I would actually use this one. I just prefer my brushes. So I was really thrilled, and I think that people that are Urban Decay fans are going to be really thrilled. People that don't like Urban Decay, not. There's nothing new in this palette, if that makes any sense. So the first one is, we're going to go through these really fast because like I said, I don't want this to be a 30-minute long video. I want you to see the colors so you can decide if you like it. This is Suspend. They call it a grayish brown matte, and I said a cool, deep, slightly blackened matte taupe. So there it is. And right now my fingers are doing one swipe. Occasionally I'll do two, but I want you to be able to see, like I said, the colors. The next one is Oil Slick. This is a black matte with a micro silver glitter. And I said this is a black base with blue and silver glitter. Very pretty. And so I have this kind of darkening and then also lining my eye, just kind of in the base of the eyelids, tight lining it. I guess I would do that normally. I get a tiny bit of fallout, not a lot. I would normally have done probably a matte black shade, but I wanted to stick with this particular palette. Look how pretty that is. Like for a smoky eye palette, it's such a pretty color. The next one looks white. It's Road Swipe. Did not pick up enough. And this is one of those, it's going to be hard to show on camera. It's going to shift. This is why I like to take swatch pictures outside so you can kind of see how the sunlight hits. This is what I call a ghost shadow. Iridescent white with blue violet shift. And that's what I said, but I call it a ghost shade. I love shades like this. I love putting them here. I love putting them as highlighters. I even love wearing them just on my lid, especially with like a black eyeliner. They just have that ghostly, ethereal, beautiful look. Gash. So this is what I have on my eyes. And this can be built up, or it can also, did I show you here? It can also be really sheared out. And it's very pretty. It's less dramatic, obviously, sheared out. But I wanted you to see, and I have no primer on. This is basically just applying it and not even trying to build it up. So it's a very deeply pigmented palette. I guess you could say a few of the shades are a little stiff, a little dry. Formula wise, this is not Urban Decay's best palette, but I think if you like the eyeshadow formula of Urban Decay, you're gonna like this. This they call a metallic brick red, and I called it a red terracotta, but I also outside saw kind of a peach shift in it. And again, that's what Urban Decay does so beautifully. And I have not had to use eyeshadow primers on these to get them to last, you know, a good 8 to 10 hours. So that in and of itself is a good thing. Midnight Cowboy, I think this was probably the first Urban Decay shade I ever wore. And I put a little bit of this just on the inner corner of my eye. I get a tiny bit of fallout. It's just a really beautiful, what do they call it? They call it Pink Champagne Shimmer with Silver Glitter. And I would agree with that, but I see little bits of peach in it as well. I said a Champagne Metallic Sheen with hints of gold. This, you definitely have the glitter chunks. I don't know. I'm always going to have, I can't be impartial with this one. First Urban Decay shadow I ever bought, and I really love it, even with the glitter that I can see. So let's hold this up one more time. So we're going to go to the second row. That was row number 1. Now we're going to row number 2. This one, I almost used this one in the eye look. I did a beautiful one with Hot Pants, which is a pink, which we're going to get to, Twice Baked Brown, and this one just kind of playing around. And had I not been doing, I don't know, I just wanted to do something with Gash. I want to do something unusual, different from what I've been doing lately. But this blue is so pretty on, oh my gosh. It's probably my second favorite shade. And I don't know why it works so well with the pink Hot Pants, but it does. Deep metallic blue with copper micro glitter. So I said it really is like blue jeans. And it has a real great subtle sheen. You can see shimmer in this one as well. And I can almost see a little shift in the color when the light hits it at the right angle. Then we have Shallow, which they call a pale silver, taupe silver satin. And you know, their descriptions are actually really good. Sometimes the descriptions aren't particularly detailed. These two are beautiful together if you want a cool eye look. That's why I didn't take 501 off. And what I said about this one, I said a light, slightly metallic taupe with blue undertones. And I also wrote down gorgeous with 501. Every time I put the two together, I'm like, wow, those are really pretty together, especially if you want like a smoky blue eye. Really great pairing. Laced. So laced is one we have seen before. And this is not going to show up so well because I have some blue on my arm still, which doesn't help when you're trying to show a different color. Okay, there, the blue's gone. This is a very light shade. This is barely going to show. It's like disappearing into my arm. Let's put more on my finger. And that's in part because it's really close to my skin tone, even though my skin tone's not brown, believe me. So this they call a pinky taupe matte. So yeah, pinky taupe. I'm sort of pinky taupe. And what I said, creamy, russet skin tone, rosy taupe. And this actually is a great, great shade to use as a base shade to do your everyday look, to take it with something like Twice Baked or Smog or one of these other browner ones, brown based, even actually with 501, just to have kind of a neutral matte base to start with. After that we have Hot Pants. I was surprised at how much I like this. I'm always wary of pinks because I have a little bit of a yellow undertone. This is so pretty on. If you put this on the inner corner of your eye, it totally makes your eye just pop open, just like, wow, really wide awake, beautiful, pretty, and it's really great with 501, like I said, like 50 times. It's a great shade, which I didn't expect to like as much as I did. So they had called it Hot Pants Pearly Medium Pink, and I said a metallic cool pink, so it's definitely a cooler tone. Then Mildew. The two greens, I was also tempted to do a look with the two greens. Mildew they call a deep metallic green shimmer. This one again, I see shifting colors in it. I don't know, some of these I start looking at them there on the camera because I can see it off to the side. I'm like, oh, I want to see that, it's so pretty. So what I said about this one, lime green with light green emerald metallic shift. You can tell I like this palette. This is one of those that if you have been an Urban Decay fan, you will love. And if you haven't, well, you're missing out. Okay, so now we're gonna do the third row. And I would also say what I like about this palette, I think it's easier than some of the past Vice palettes have been. I think a lot of these colors are really easy to turn into idiot-proof looks, which is always one of my criteria for makeup. Just when they picked a lot of their kind of top shades from the past, they picked ones that really blend beautifully together and can be worn alone. So this, look at that, how pretty that is. So this is Smog, and this is a deep coppery bronze shimmer. This one actually is beautiful just alone by itself, especially with my color eyes or brown, hazel, green, most color eyes. It's a pretty one. This is a basic rich copper with hints of gold and gold shimmer. This is another one I got early on in my Urban Decay, I don't know, addiction. Misdemeanor. This one is a deep olive green matte with green micro shimmer. And again, you're seeing the different shifting in the color. And so I said rich, almost metallic emerald with a blue tint to it. And the blue is like, when I look at it one angle, it's like an aqua green, and then I look at it in another angle and it looks more of an olive green. So it does change color, which is one of the things I love so much about Urban Decay shadows. They're not boring. They're just, I don't know, I still don't think that many brands have been able to do what they do with that. Freak Show, bright purple satin. And they do colors like this so beautifully. This one is Gosh, I remember this one too. Purple, pink undertone, almost metallic. I remember this one when I first started getting into Urban Decay as well. And it's just a really deep, rich, beautiful purple. And it does have kind of a pink shift to it. Just a great one. There's kind of a nostalgia as I'm going through some of these. Some of them I do remember. This one, Asphyxia. Hyacinth Shimmer with blue shift. This is another one of my kind of ghost sort of shades. I just go crazy for shades like this. I said Ghost Otherworldly Pink Lavender. And what I would actually do with this, I would actually put this just on my lid. Might work in a little bit of black, kind of tight lining, or in the upper waterline. I would line my lower lashes with it. When I was at the Urban Decay store, the sales associate took a color very similar to this and then used a bright aqua liner, and it was so beautiful. But a lot of times when I just want to go for kind of a purplish look, I'll use something like this. And I might go with a fully purple or a pink lip just to change it up a little so that it's not too monotone on my face. Okay, then the last one on this row is Acid Rain. And Acid Rain, they say pale yellow green shimmer with green shift. And this, I said, it's a cool yellow gold, almost metallic. And you do see some green in it. I saw a little bit more kind of yellow with green as opposed to green with yellow, if that makes sense. Okay, we're gonna go through the last row and try not to make this like a too long video. It's the last row. So now we have Moonflower. And this they call Metallic Rose Gold with Gold Micro Shimmer. So if you haven't gotten the gist of this yet, there's a lot of metallic and a fair amount of shimmer. Beautiful, beautiful. I said peach sheen, almost metallic. And so I think that the rose gold leans peachy rose gold on my skin tone. Then UVB, bright blue with violet shift. I said a glowing lavender with a blue hint to it. This again is one of those that Urban Decay does so well. This, that beautiful, mystical, magical, ghostly sheen. It's so pretty. Gold Mine, bright metallic gold. This one is a little bit harder for me to use, but colors like this actually do work really well. Kind of in the inner corner of your eye like that to open up your eye. So now that we've used that up, and about this one I said vibrant metallic gold yellow. You can see. Two more. Twice Baked, rich brown satin with gold micro glitter, according to Urban Decay. And I said a rich, slightly warm chocolate with hints of glitter, gold glitter. It's a great color. It's a great color. Even you can see I mixed a little in there just to add depth to the black. And the last one is Anonymous. They say pale peachy cream matte, and I said a creamy bone peach matte. This type of shade is always a favorite, and I did this right up here. It's not going to show on my wrist. It's not going to show swatched. I'll do it anyway, but it's just not going to show. It's too close to my natural skin color. I tried to build it up, but I don't think you'll see it. So to sum this up and end the video really fast, I really love this palette. I think it's more useful, more easy to use than a lot of the past recent Vice palettes have been. It might not be kind of as edgy, but every color here has just a whole bunch of other colors that you can very easily create a beautiful, wearable, either dramatic or subtle look. So if you're an Urban Decay fan, this is a wow must-have. If you're not an Urban Decay fan, this probably isn't so different from anything that you've tried before. It's gonna convert you. But I really am thrilled with it personally. Like I said, January's been sadly too great a month for me makeup wise. I think the makeup companies just outdid themselves, so I will not be shopping for, I don't know, maybe the rest of the year, but I'm so glad I got this personally. And that is all I have to say about it. Please subscribe on YouTube. Thanks for watching.